everybody, Mr. The Fanboy here, back for another video, and this is my TNA 2000, late 2017 news video, and my thoughts on several TNA departures. Of course, for TNA news, I don't have that much in the way of TNA news. The only thing I have to talk about is I'm happy that this past week's edition of Impact Wrestling, leading up into Bound for Glory, which is this Sunday. This past week's Impact drew a higher viewership from last week's viewership. So they go to show you that there is still some interest in the TNA product and some interest in the Bound for Glory product. But that's the only thing I had in the relation to actual TNA news. The other stuff I wanted to talk about was the various TNA departures. Already, Brian Hebner and Earl Hebner departed from Impact Wrestling. Saddened to hear from that. Low Key recently left Impact Wrestling. I actually missed this one. I didn't see this anywhere. I checked the Impact Wrestling roster page, and Low Key was no longer on it. So I checked Wikipedia, and it confirmed that he made the decision to leave, but it's not known why he left. Not knowing Low Key was probably he wasn't being pushed. I mean, he hasn't won the championship, and that was one thing I wanted. I wanted him to win the X Division championship, then cash it in and win the heavyweight championship, so they can maybe keep him around longer. Because you got to look at it from Low Key's standpoint. He didn't give a reason he left, but it's probably has something to do with his push and his staying with the company. If they would have pushed him as a main eventer, as a champion, he probably would have. It was probably going to be the same old thing. He was probably going to come in, wrestle a bunch of X Division matches, win the X Division title, then lose it, and repeat the cycle. So he probably just decided to leave. So yeah, sad to see Low Key leave again. Low Key leave again, especially when the X Division was being rebuilt, and you had a lot of the old guys. You got Sanjay, you got Sanjay, and you got P. Williams back. So I was interested in seeing Low Key with this tandem, and then of course all the new guys, all of the quote unquote new guys, and of course yeah then of course um then of course yeah. So yeah, continue with the departures. Also, speaking of departures, I just recently checked now because I haven't been seeing him on Impact, so I wonder if he was still there. It's also sad to hear that Marshe Rocket, who was like a young Booker T, only he was a heel. I'm disappointed to hear that he's parted ways with Impact Wrestling. See, I was just about to mention him with Low Key being with that mix, but I haven't seen him since earlier this year. And it was announced in November that he just recently parted ways with Impact Wrestling. Really disappointed with all these departures. Then of course you got James Storm rumored to be departing. I'm sort of mixed about this. See, James Storm, while being a big part of TNA, hasn't really done anything since 2012, and I was actually expecting him to sign with WWE back when he was on NXT, but I think it was WWE that didn't sign him. So I'm kind of mixed about James Storm. He's still there, but he could be departing soon. Eddie Kingston has also parted ways with Impact Wrestling. Mixed about this too. Eddie Kingston's an awesome talent. However, without the DCC, I didn't really see that much for him after that. What's his name? Then of course you got Taryn Terrell. Not surprised. I didn't see her return lasting long. Yeah, disappointed, but at the same time, you kind of expected. I didn't see her lasting long. I'm just so disappointed to hear that Renault Scum, yes, Renault Scum are no longer with TNA. Are no longer with TNA. Yeah, like a lot of people leaving TNA and WWE. A lot of people leaving TNA and WWE. I'm disappointed here. Renault Scum has left, and now Rockstar Spud, which, believe it or not, I'm actually mixed towards. Half of me is mad, but half of me is kind of glad, because see, I didn't like the way they were using Rockstar Spud in it's Rockstar Spud's last days with the company, last year with the company. I also didn't like. I also didn't. I also felt Rockstar Spud was. I also felt Rockstar Spud should leave because I had seen all these big time shows with Rockstar Spud not being a part of. The Rockstar Hornswoggle feud was terrible, but I was hoping it would lead to an eventual face turn for Rockstar Spud and would eventually get him back in the title picture. Title picture. Uh, not only was the feud terrible, the feud they didn't even get to have a blow off match. They didn't even, at Slammiversary. They didn't even get to be a part of the awesome Slammiversary pay per view from earlier this year. They didn't even get to be a part of that. They didn't even get to be a part of, despite all the build up and time dedicated to this crappy feud. They didn't even get a chance to be part of Slammiversary earlier this year. So if Rockstar Spud didn't find any sort of, if they didn't find any storyline for Rockstar Spud, and I was hoping that Rockstar Spud would, as he said, request his release. It was requested that he was released actually 2 to 3 weeks ago. Yeah, and now he's working the indies and don't want to see him in WWE, but I would understand it. I don't want to see him in WWE, but I would understand it. Sad to see him go though. Would like to see him back, but after where they used him, I don't see him ever coming back. Um, yeah. Now finally, the biggest one is Jeff Jarrett. I'm disappointed here that he's been sent home. First heard about Jeff Jarrett's troubles at the AAA event earlier this year, which I haven't watched in its entirety. That at the AAA event in Mexico, that he looked terrible in the ring. He was out of shape, looked terrible in the ring. I was disappointed to hear all this. So disappointed I didn't watch any of this. I didn't want to see the great Jeff Jarrett fall like that. Then of course you got later hearing more stuff about I think Anthem Sports terminating its contract with Impact Wrestling. Jeff Jarrett saying Impact Wrestling is out of money, and Jeff Jarrett being sent home because he was reportedly intoxicated. And he recently transferred into WWE's rehab center. I hope Jeff Jarrett gets the help he deserves and eventually returns to Impact Wrestling, but I don't see him returning. But sad to see Jeff Jarrett goes because Jeff Jarrett, he completely turned that company around. Yeah, it was sad to see all these people go, but he was making Impact awesome. Impact has been awesome, and it's the best it's ever been this year. It's the best it's ever been this year. Under Jeff Jarrett, while there's some things I like better about Dixie Carter and what's the other guy? Um, Dixie Carter and I already forgot his name. Um, Billy Corgan. Yeah, Billy Corgan. Can't believe I forgot his name. Billy Corgan. Billy Corgan. While there were several things I like better about Dixie Carter and Billy Corgan, Impact Wrestling under Jeff Jarrett, the original president, has been much better. You saw lots of awesome shows and matches and the return of several great wrestlers like Loki and Sanjay Dutt, P. Williams, Johnny Impact, Chris Murdeneski, and the debut of several new wrestlers like Renault Scum, the Ohio versus Everything, and the new LAX. Garza Jr. The talent exchange with all the promotions. Yeah, so yeah, and of course which I got to review the GFW AMP shows, which I've been wanting to watch for like ever. So yeah, sad to hear that Jeff Jarrett has sad to say parted ways with Impact Wrestling. Well, this was my news on Impact Wrestling. All right, I'm done for now.